welcome back to the channel. So if you saw last week's video, you would know we're in Bali, Indonesia. If you missed it, I'll put a link up in the top right hand corner of the screen right now. We're still there, but we're back on the big island of Bali. More adventures to come. Well, good morning. So we're now on the big island of Bali, and what I've done is we arrived here yesterday after spending a week on the island of Nusa Penida. And so what I've done this morning is I've come down to the shoreline because this is actually an east-facing town. I'm in the suburb of Sanur right now, and I'm quite close to Sanur harbour, and just in front of me, this is happening. Look at this absolutely beautiful sunrise going on. So quite simple. All I've done is set up right on the beach here. We've got this little hut in the foreground. And we've got about 80% high clouds right now. I saw the forecast last night and thought I've really got to get down the beach. So I'm just going to set up and do a few shots here. Probably mostly landscape style shots because this little hut is just absolutely gorgeous. There's another one you can see over my shoulder, or another two in the distance there. So I'll see if I put them in the shot or not. I think we've got a slightly rising tide, so I might get my feet wet here, but that's okay. Let's get a couple of shots here, see how they came out. Check it out. I had no idea how popular this was going to be down here. There are people everywhere. It's a great scene. People out with tripods taking shots. There's a lady that set up right next to me with her tripod and one of these, of course. There's quite a lot of people now sitting on the shoreline. Great to see so many people get up for the sunrise. I'm just waiting right now for a little bit more colour up high. So we've managed to get a bit of colour in the very, very early light. So that's sort of astronomical twilight time. We're kind of at blue hour right now, and there's a little bit of colour starting to happen on the horizon. But I think some of this higher cloud's really going to catch. So I'm just being patient, taking a few shots and just waiting to see what happens here. So that was the first shot of the morning, and now I'm going to see what happens when we start getting a little bit more colour. Alright, well now it's really starting to happen. We're getting some absolutely gorgeous colour in the sky. As I thought earlier, you might be able to see some of these higher clouds are starting to catch up here as well. We've had these ones quite lit up for a while, but it's all starting to go high. So I don't have any filters with me. All I've got with me for this trip is just a circular polarizer. So right now I'm at f/16 and I'm shooting about half a second to try and just keep the light balanced. I've spun the polarizer, so I'm trying to get maximum sort of colour out of the waves in front of me here. But it's really starting to happen now. We're still probably about 15 minutes away from sunrise, but it's looking absolutely beautiful, as I thought it might. Okay, here's another couple of shots. It's interesting because it's normally in a situation like this I'd be scouting around looking at other locations and other places for shots, but I've looked around here and I can't find anything better than this little hut in front of me here. I noticed there's a few photographers along the beach that have been running along back and forward along the beach, but I still think this is by far the best location. And since we're using all these huge apertures of tiny f/16 what I'm going to try and do is just catch the sun as it pops up over the horizon and see if we can just close the aperture right down, see if we can get a little bit of a sunburst just coming up over the horizon there as well. So that's going to be probably the final shot of the day, and it's going to happen in probably the next 5 minutes. So I'm not going to make you wait 5 minutes. Here's the shot. that's us from Sanur Beach. Gorgeous sunrise. It was really nice. There was a little bit of cloud on the actual horizon, so the sunburst that I got was when the sun actually popped out just above those clouds. Was absolutely just gorgeous. A lot of people around now, which is really nice to see so many people get up for the sunrise. So this morning we're going to jump in a car and we're going to head up to kind of the center of the island of Bali. There's quite a few waterfalls that we're going to go chasing up now. So we'll be away for the whole day with a driver. So looking forward to that. So I'll, as usual, I'll put the shots up next with all the settings for them, so you can see what the settings were for the shots. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you're new, subscribe to the channel. There's always lots more content coming your way. So that's it from Sanur Beach. See you in the next one. Cheers.